Alright, greetings and joining tonight's broadcast brought to you by Fifth Dimension. Alright, so this is, I'm going to kind of tone it down from, it's been kind of heavy recently. I think it has been. So, let's talk about Singapore. I've not dived too deeply into that because I want to be able to function. But yeah, there's a lot of heavy stuff there. And I'm gonna show one thing there, but yeah, it's definitely their presence there. You're probably not gonna find any Illuminati beings there, or by the name. I mean, of course, there's a lot of millionaires there, definitely. But those that are running the show, most likely are not gonna make their name that easy to find. Now, that female I did yesterday, whatever her name is, but whatever her name is, Clarissa or whatever it is, not that, but it was one yesterday about like the Baroness of London and like the Illuminati Queen, the World Council, and all that. I'm taking a break on that, but I'm not done with that, or ever will be. So I kind of passed that around a little bit too, and I'm still passing it around to see what others feel about it. And it's, because sometimes with that stuff like that, you know how it goes. It's like maybe it's not real or whatever it is, or of course everything's real in its own. But I believe it's pretty legit. It's somebody that wants to make themselves known for probably karma healing, but also for our awakening. It's just very bizarre, and there's just so many layers to go into it. And there's that website I showed yesterday. It's in the social network, where there's some cryptic stuff there, but it says it's from her. So I believe there's a lot of it's like they're slowly opening themselves up. So we're in the early stages of it. I'm not sure how long this has been going on. Maybe a couple months, or maybe longer than that. At least for her. At least for that site to be. That website too is in her name, I believe too. So I don't think she's ever been seen. But it's funny how her name's out there and how this ever came. I guess she popped up on that site and then they got flushed around a little bit. So I believe it's very legit. So, and I got a message about looking into Illuminati, and then there that was, and I wasn't looking for it, because where do you look? So they've been kind of calm on that stuff for right now. Just like alien disclosure, everything comes. You don't want to overload it with too much. So, now they want me to talk about alien disclosures to go into a little bit more detail of kind of getting used to their presence. Of obviously many people have been through this. Well, not a huge amount, but still quite a few. And it has not been exactly the most positive. It can be scary, but sometimes they do things like if they don't show themselves, but you hear something and know something's there. But you get kind of it's because it's a different energy. You gotta get used to it. Not that they're going to be creeping around all weird, but there's going to be a time when they're going to make their appearance and it will be friendly. They're kind of just testing the waters to see what you're. Even the negative ones. I mean, even the negative ones that show up and they're all, like a nightmare. I mean, it's like a blessing in disguise. I wish you have some kind of contact. Where most people are dying for it and haven't had anything. So, it's not not the best connection, but either way, it's I mean, I felt them around. I haven't seen anything like that, but I have felt their energies around. I felt the Pleiadians, and I can't even keep track of everything anymore. But it's been a while. I mean, really feel them like they're in the room type of thing. I haven't done that. I mean, I felt them around. I mean, really feel them moving around and stuff. I mean, literally feel them moving around. You feel their ship moving around. I think there's something else, but I can't remember everything anymore. But it doesn't matter. But this is energy I'm getting from them is they have to go and they're not going to appear every day. They'll be every now and then. At least right now to warm up for their connection. So they're going to see if you're open-minded for a connection at all. And they kind of warm you up for it. It's like, okay, we're around you and you're not freaking out. And it's usually at night, because that's usually the best way to connect with you, because, don't have anybody, I don't think I'll show up at a nightclub or anything like that. You can barely, and it's weird, because you're sleeping and then they show up. It's like, that's, everybody's going to be okay with that one. Sure. Yeah, it'll be middle of the night, and then you feel their presence. And then you'll just see them. Either you get up or you just wake up in bed and there they are, which is creepy as shit. So it's like, this is going to be for everybody. Shit. But that's one way for contact. So everybody's looking for alien contact, and you're looking for that. Like you wake up in bed, there's an alien sitting right next to you. You're all for that? You're okay? You're okay for alien? You still want this new Earth? So sitting, so all this, of course, the channelings are helping. I mean, all channelers are all helping, and some people kind of do the hybrid children because it gives them something to do. And also they don't have any children. It's nice to divert their attention, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just, it takes, when you go into the real world of these beings, it's not as comforting as it might feel. But it's cozy up to a hybrid child and living in astral and everything is fluffy and everything is nice. When these guys show up, now for some people it'll be gray, some people will be Nordic, some people will be whatever the hell frog people, who the hell knows. We're just working with the grays right now. Most likely for human contact. I told Retro about energy I was getting from them, the L3 beings is like, oh my god, they're talking to other alien beings like, if you're crazy enough to do this, you're on your own. Something like that. So they're monitoring it. Everybody's monitoring it right now, so I'm not the only one that connected to others, but there might be a day where people, like, there'll be 1 contact, 2 contact, 3 contact all in one night. Where you just feel like I don't think it's going to be the most kosher experience from what I'm gathering. Now those that don't want any of this, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen. But for those that want to have it, and it's like, you got to mentally and physically prepare for it. Because it'll mess you up, that's for sure. Especially if it's not going to happen if you don't want it. That's 100% on that. So if you do want it, you're kind of going through the exercise of connections that basically happen at any time. They have to get used to your energies basically so you can wake up and there they are. So they're going to mentally connect to you and basically you already know who they are and you get information and they'll probably put you back to sleep. Now some of you already had that, you just don't remember. That's another thing. You already had contact, you just don't remember your contact. So, but this is the remembering contact. This is the type when you actually remember it. So this is the bigger deal. So could you pull into their consciousness? So I can go into details, clearly right now, but it's like, from what I'm getting from them, basically you kind of wake up, you see them, and they go into your mind. There's nothing to worry about. We're here, and this is who we are, and this might happen for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, I'm getting like 10 seconds or something like that. Just to get used to this, and then they'll be gone, something like that. And there'll be like 10 or 20 days in between the next connection, something like that. It'll come and go. You won't see a ship flying or anything like that. You might, but who knows. Well, I'm gathering, just show up when you're sleeping a little bit. So how many people are going to put their hands up for that one? So that's, it's a psychic connection. It's just, and then I'm getting is, I don't know. It's going to be like a mini event. Yeah, it's not going to be anything too extravagant or anything like that. You know. So, well, to recap, basically, you wake up, you see a Zeta, in my case, and you kind of go into their minds for a little bit. And yeah, you'll freak out, but then they'll tell you it's okay. Of course, anytime you wake up in the middle and somebody's looking at you, I don't know, everybody's gonna be kind of fucked up with that. So, yeah, then you get used to it. Yeah, they'll calm you down, and so like they're saying it now to mentally prepare those that if anybody would ever go through. I mean, you know, this is a long-term situation. This is like the new world. Once it starts happening, it's gonna have to start happening here and there throughout the year, and yeah, become the normal thing. So it's just a gradual process. Some people it just happens contact once or twice, and then that's it for the next 20, 30 years, and that's it. This is not to say it's going to happen weekly or monthly, but it's going to become closer than it ever has before. So they're just putting this out there to just get the mind. I guess you can always say something before you go to sleep too, if that you're ready for it, or you say you're ready, but you know, yeah. So it's just yeah, yeah. A lot of people are saying they're ready, or sort of ready. They're ready for certain kinds of contact, not that type of contact, but there's still a lot that goes into it. Basically, the aliens are merging with our energies, so that's a major shift, and they have to be careful with that because they don't want to pull in your energy, too much of your vibration into theirs, where they kind of, you know, it's overwhelming. So, even for them, because of the fear that's here and all the stuff that's going on here. So, this is why I talked about the multiverse and all that. Obviously, is one aspect of healing. It's crazy, but we're all connected to different versions of Earth. So it's not a popular subject matter. It's not one that I dived into in the past here and there, but now it feels like the more you see, like if there's a movie or something that's really like, if you watch it, you focus on the physical media, because you know even the books would probably pull that into, but physical media is a little bit more, you know, it's easier to access. Reading, you know, you can get worn out or whatever it might be, but I'll just focus on the physical. So if there's a movie or something that you just, like people watch the same thing over and over again sometimes, there's a reason for that. Like I was a kid, I watched Ghostbusters all the time. So that's a messed up world. When you see ghosts flying around, people shooting laser weapons at it, and that's pretty fun. I was addicted to that when I was a kid. That's pretty damn cool. That's great. So that's another one. I don't watch it anymore, but yeah. So yeah, when you're a kid, what were you obsessed with as a kid? Was it My Little Pony? Was it Power Rangers? All this stuff has relevance. It sounds crazy, coming from a world that's obsessed with religion. It's not that crazy. Religion's a bunch of nutball, you know, that's all insane, right? So, yeah, it's all alien stuff from, you know, planet Mars and Jupiter. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to bring up. I want to dedicate that to something else. About the demigods that are connected to the Bible. People are worshiping certain demigods. I want to do something separate. That was what I was going to do here, but I'll do a separate one on that. Also, I'm going to do a video on where I started and everything, because I'm coming into the 5-year mark. So, where I came from, what I'm doing, or where, you know, how to solve. I have a video on there, but I don't know where the hell it is. If I have a couple of them, I'll have to make a playlist. I think I have a couple of them, but I don't remember what they're called. But so, If I do, I'll put them on the main channel. Either way, I'm going to do an update on that and where we are today. So, so going into more of the alien disclosures in a second. Probably catching up on stuff. For those who are new to all of this, I'm talk.com. Our private sessions. We're at a channel. Google Hangout, Zoom, channeling by phone. About 10 days for delivery finally on most people finally. So in the same situation here. Every channel I do recommend. So it takes a week finally. Social network has a lot of stuff that I've been looking up, and there's the rabbit in all its glory. So this is I keep forgetting to make this a title for this, but St. Patrick's Cathedral, I believe, is in New York City, and it's a portal. Entire thing is a portal. Now it doesn't mean it's negative. I mean, it has a little bit of everything, positive, negative, but it's a portal. All churches have that. This is Brussels, and same thing with the square. Now there's positive energies there, but it's definitely the way it's all mapped out has a reason. All these old architecture energy. Yeah, it's just the old world. Well, for this it's healing, but yeah, it's at a healing phase. It wasn't always the case before. It was more control. There's a lot of Illuminati energies here. Always there was. Maybe it's not as strong as it used to be. Yeah, I mean, churches, I don't know how it's going to go with the churches eventually. I mean, I believe they can be healed, or they can bring in more positive, because I don't think they're going to be removed. It's just they're going to be repurposed, you can say, vibrationally, instead of bringing in just lower astral energies in. They bring in a lot of lower astral. It's a lot of control all around it. Because the rules of religion, of all religions, they have rules. This is Singapore. This is their science museum, Archon architecture. So I believe this is in Singapore also. That's neat. At least that has positive energies around it. I believe that's real. That's neat. Yeah, it has a good vibration around it. So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom in good old Singapore, but it's not exactly the best vibration either. So it's a bar. Yeah, it has obviously, so it's a modernized Illuminati energies. Let's put it that way. So not always the best intentions. Thank you for your support. All right. All right. With all right, connect to L3, and we'll see who else is here. So yeah, there's mentioned this in the last video from today about, you know, nothing wrong with getting a healing and all that, but also there's a lot of those spiritual teachings. Yeah, I think this is a pretty good example of putting, you know, wallpaper in your mental prison. Basically, it's kind of like not everybody's ready to be free, of course. Many that see all this as negative or whatever, they're not ready to they're not ready to be free from the matrix or whatever you want to call it, the prison reality. Yeah, you get rid of, this is what the controllers don't like. You get rid of the calendar, you get rid of time, just get rid of all clocks, and just get rid of anything that has to do with the clock. Like, shut it off. There's a phone, turn it off. Get rid of the calendar system. Get rid of holidays. Holidays, as lovely as they are is programming. Christmas. So Valentine's Day. Let's look at that. Okay, Valentine's Day. You have to buy somebody something and take them to dinner. It's telling you what to do. I mean, there's nothing wrong with doing those things, but also it's telling you what to do. It's traditional programming, right? Same thing for Christmas. You supposedly get a day off, but it's telling you what to do. Go hang out with your family. It's programming. People obviously go hang out with their family. There's nothing wrong with hanging out with your family, but also the holidays telling you to do it. They're telling you what to do. Telling you to get some presents for your friends, eat a turkey, and we're going to shove this religion down your throat. They're telling you what to do. All these religions do it. Or all these holidays. All religions do it too. But the holidays are telling. So you got to get rid of the holidays too. You got to get rid of everything. It all has to go. School system has to go. The political system has to go. Good luck on. How do you do that? I mean, people are holding on to this stuff because that's all they have for existence. The money system has to go. I mean, everything that we experience here has to go away. Even the road systems, where it's a grid pulling in low vibrations, those have to go. I mean, how do you fix something like this? It's everywhere. The city grids, the grids on the buildings. It's like, this is why we have the alien presence here. Because doing this on our own, I'm not sure how that's even possible. At least the alien energies can kind of kickstart a new era. Even if we have a lot of people are going to hate the aliens, or a lot of people are going to love them. But as more physical contact becomes poor, right now, obviously, it's kind of scary. It's kind of connected to the new world. But once you get used to it, it's no big deal. Now, some people are already used to it, but they don't have they have a physical being walking around on your own. No. But that's what we're kind of warming up to. Some are going to put their ego into it. But those that are like negative towards channeling or whatever it might be, even channelers, I believe, can only go a certain level. Like they, especially if they're living comfortable life, when, everybody's coming to them, everything is all lovely and spicy, and, you got the colonies, you got whatever the hell they're talking about. It's like, what the hell do you need a physical connection for? You're like a king right now. What the hell do you need a real alien to be here? So, so a lot of people are not, even those that are channeling this stuff, aren't really ready, basically. Especially if they live a comfortable life, they have their spouse, everybody's having a blast, everybody's like, oh, just all cheery. They're probably not ready for any physical connection. Most likely not. And there are others that are. Some are very, I'm not going to go into names, intellectually know-it-alls. I do have good intentions, but I'm not sure if they want to go through the grind of this type of connection. So, as for physical proof, now you're going to have, well, first off, getting a physical connection's step one. Physical proof won't happen anytime soon. They got to warm up just the physical stuff first. Otherwise, they're going to show up in your bedroom. Jeez. Oh, yeah, you be sleeping. Oh, how's it going? And try not to freak out. And I'm thinking you'll be able to grab your camera for a selfie. I don't think that's going to happen. So, it will happen, not with the selfie stuff yet, but, yeah. I'm not sure if we're ready for actual photograph stuff just yet. Because people, it is going to become eventually where you're going to get more photos of this stuff, and people at first are going to be scared of it, think it's all fake, and then more and more comes out, and it's like, okay, it's not all fake, or maybe none of it's fake. Yeah, so it won't happen yet on that front. So just to get somebody used to a physical connection is really the first stage. Now, timing of it, like when this year, No words on that. But it is something's going to happen eventually. If it's necessity, if it's necessary for soul growth on the person's part. So, yeah, it's kind of messing with your whole world, basically. And connecting them can kind of throw you out of alignment with the earth, meaning that you just feel not yourself. Gee, I wonder why. And they're going to go through stuff too. It's not just you. So it's just yeah, it's happened here before, of course, in the ancient world. So, like I said, most of humanity, obviously, any talk of this is going to reject it because they're living whatever they're living. This is all just insane. Which is, it is insane. But doesn't mean it's not going to happen either, because it's going to happen. I don't think we have any choice. Now, you have to be like individually open for it. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen to me. What feels like it will. Feel like a couple of months, or maybe sooner than that. I thought March, but I can't put a date on it. Yeah, if I start losing all my hair, I think I'll know I had something happen. Let's see here. It has to do with also the Earth Council here too. That they're kind of getting briefed with all this, so you connect to them in astral before this connection even happens. So they're kind of giving the green light they're going to allow it to happen to your physical self, so your astral self is there, so it's going to go on for a while too. So it'll be a couple of days of that. Because the earth is going to feel the vibrations. People are going to be affected by it, especially when you talk about it, you're blabbing your mouth about it. Hey, guess what happened? Well, it's the best way to heal yourself, and to have somebody you can talk to, or just have a camera and just upload it to YouTube. It does help the mental big time. Yeah, if you just keep it in yourself, you're going to go crazy. You got to tell somebody. So, yeah, so that's why individual contact is not going to be for everybody. You got to be able to heal yourself afterwards, because it's going to really jolt you. Just the way it is. You're talking to a fourth dimensional being, and you're going to have tea one day. Yeah, it's just not. So yeah, you're merging your consciousness with them. They're merging with you, and that's when you're not going to leave this thought pattern here. You're not going to leave that just yet. Like, you're not just going to all of a sudden build a spaceship and fly away, as nice as that would be. But you could, but no. Yeah, they can't do stuff like that. Nobody's allowed to leave just yet. It is quarantined, all because of humanity can't seem to heal itself, can't seem to find itself, can't seem to get itself out of its old ways. But like I said, it's getting programmed all the time. Religion's programming it, holidays are programming it, your calendar times, we're constantly being programmed. So when you're up against something like that, and most people are going to say that's normal, so breaking free of that is not as easy as it sounds. So, but it is possible, yeah. That's where you get help from them. So when our calendar gets removed, like they literally do not, even the calendar, that's not something you just disconnect from instantly because it's connected to our economy. But that will happen, and that'll take a long time just for people to get used to that. To rely on their own selves, their own energies. That's when the higher dimensional self comes through. You got nothing better to do than to just open up, because then you start connecting with everybody. Everybody's going to connect with everybody, whoever you want to connect with. And you merge energies with them, and you start opening up to a higher dimensional self, fourth dimensional self, whatever it might be. Or you just try to take over the world, whatever comes first. Some might try that and be tricked into it at least. But yeah, it's just kind of like starting from scratch, but not necessarily. Technologies will still be here because it's a tool. But our calendar and our time are not tools. You don't need those. Not really. Not really. I mean, we need them to function here, but, and religion is going to be healed. It has necessary points. It can't be released. It's been here too long. but it can't be healed. A lot of the belief systems have to be healed, and churches can be turned into healing chambers eventually. They are kind of that way now, but they're also part of manipulation. So they're healing, but also, I get the word oxymoron comes here, but anyway, yeah. So it's just there's a lot of devils in the churches, of course. Not all of them, but quite a few, in the religions in general. But Catholic Church seems to have more, and that's why there are more people getting possessed, because there's more demonic energies there. It's calling them in. It's calling them in all the time. Might as well have somebody heal it. I mean, you're the ones bringing it in. You might as well be the one that's healing them. But it's another test. Yeah, a lot of the Catholic churches bring a lot of dark portal energies for various reasons, for our lessons. So they're not going to be torn down anytime soon. Notre Dame is another story, but I believe a lot of churches will just be healed internally. So I don't see any churches burning down just as yet. Will they be removed? Eventually they probably will be removed, but no time soon. We got a long ways for that. But that's when higher astral can. Because you can take a church and change its frequency to bring it more positive, but you have to know how to do it. And it can be done. Of course, there's a lot of people that are positive, that, at least in the spiritual communities, are also very dark. And they come off all positive, but some of them are hiding it like a son of a bitch. I can name names on that one. But, they come off, oh, we're so positive, Ivan's negative, yada, yada, yada. Thinking, really? I'm more neutral. A lot of them are, they say they're positive, but there's other stuff going on there. Of course, behind the scenes, of course. So there's just a lot of. So the aliens see everything, just like spirit. Aliens don't see as much as spirit does, but they see a lot. They see a lot of the manipulations that are going on. They can't interfere. They have to let it run its course. So if you have an alien being that's being channeled, that's manipulating people, they can't really interfere unless they're asked to interfere, and it's up to the person that's bringing it in. It's also for that person's test, that person's lessons. Jeez. Hitting me hard here. Well, yeah, they don't want you to. They don't want people's like. I'm not gonna go into details, but if some of that stuff sounds a little bit fishy, it probably is. And some of it, it's just amazing how popular some of this stuff is. It's unbelievable. Oh well, it's just the way it is. So, alien, physical contact, basically rough around the edges for right now, it's just going to be growing pains. They're not just going to show up every day. They're going to show up whenever they feel it's necessary. That's another reason why they have not fully made physical contact, because it hasn't been really time for it. It's like you have to come in and say something. See, it's like, is it the time? Like, they have information, but is the world ready for that information? Which makes a lot of sense. It's like, of course, they can just show up and say, how's it going? They might just do that, but most likely they're going to bring something with it too, to just help people heal and find the right direction for themselves. And then, over time, they're not saying when, but there'll be a time frame where all this will become normal. They'll start, more appearances become more prominent. It's not going to be every month or something. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. But they're not really saying on that. I don't think it's going to happen monthly, but to other people and stuff. But the understanding of their contact is going to become stronger here. Of basically, it's to heal the fear, of course. It's going to be a lot of that, but anything like this is going to be a fear energy. And is it necessary for you to experience it? Is this going to help you in your life? So that's the point of all this physical connection, at least in my case. Is it going to help me? Is it going to help me? Who it helps? Is it going to help in their connections? This is just putting the idea out there to release the old third dimensional energies. So, like a year ago, I was talking about this stuff, but I wasn't really feeling a whole lot from it, but I just was trying to push for their connection. But now I'm feeling it, because I kind of let it go, because nothing was really happening, and, gotta give it rest. So here, yeah, they're not going into a lot of details. Just the human heart has a lot of learning to do. You don't have to save the world. You don't have to give money to to those that are homeless. Because homeless have a lot to learn, but they're healing the earth too. A lot of them, less is more for a lot of them, as they're very ingrained into the earth. Meaning, a lot of those people that are homeless, not all of them, a lot of them are, yes, alien beings, also Agarthian beings. So you wonder where your Agarthian beings are. It might be closer than you think. And why is there so many in Los Angeles? Has to do with the corruption. And Los Angeles needs a lot of healing too. There's so much darkness, it attracts a lot of love. Even if the homeless situation is not exactly the most positive, but there is positive there. So they have nothing better to do but to connect to the universe. So, and Hollywood too connects to astral energies all the time, connects to all types of creative energies. So it's always pulling in. So it's always, of course, it's always going to attract people, and unconventional people, wizard people, that don't realize they're wizards, but some of them are. Maybe not in the conventional sense of doing magic in front of people, but some of our wizard-like people there. So, yeah, it's just decoding your world and finding answers within yourselves. How do you heal yourself? Not being yourself up all the time. Letting yourself grow. Meaning letting yourself make mistakes, letting yourself make an ass of yourself, making yourself, just being yourself. Yeah, of course, you might say something you shouldn't have said, but you can heal that too. It's a healing process too. At least you got it out of your system. Yeah, through relationships, whatever it might be, you get it out of your system. And then you're going to come to a time in your world where everyone can speak their mind, as this has been mentioned here before. You can be honest with everyone. Honesty isn't 100% right now. It's good. It's doing pretty good than it has in the past, but it's going to go to a whole new level where you'll have the heart within your honesty, but you'll be putting out more honest in your daily. Like children, some children just say what's on their mind. They don't give a shit. It'd be like that. We haven't got to there. There's reasons, yeah, because of work and all that, you don't want to say everything that's on your mind. There's nothing wrong with that. That's normal. But the world's going to get to a place where everyone can be more, yeah, because, we have to make a living and all. They can't say everything that's on their mind. But there will be a time when you can say what's on your mind. And that will heal a lot. You'll have less disease here. You'll have less cancers. You won't have this coronavirus that's going around. Coronavirus has a lot to do with people who just can't be themselves. They can't be themselves here. They tried. It's not working. They tried everything, and so it's like, what am I here for? So it's an excellent point for many. It has many lessons. You notice how it isn't really traveling around a lot? Because it's also getting rid of itself. It did what it had to do. So it's backtracking. Some might say it's spreading all over the place, but that's more people trying to manifest it in certain areas. But most likely, from what I'm seeing right now, it won't be manifested too much. It's going to die down eventually. It's still a problem. It's still very real. But it's not going to be the threat people are thinking. People are, prepping and all that. There's nothing wrong with the prepping, but also people aren't really, it's a fear energy. They like the fear. They enjoy the adventure. It's the adventure of being prepared. There's nothing wrong with that. But, there's nothing to worry about either. So, especially if you have children, we understand, yes, you want to protect them and yourself. But realize, if you're in an area where this isn't going to happen, it's probably not going to come to your area. Not likely. Some might manifest it in their minds. Well, they're used to worlds also where there's been epidemic viruses. So, if you feel like you need to prepare, is it this version of Earth you need to prepare for, or is it for a previous one that you've been incarnate? It's most likely a previous one. So, but there's nothing wrong with preparing if you have to do what you have to do. But the majority of society is safe. Usually, there's a lot of people are going to get it. They're not even preparing or anything. So, yeah. So, for the idea is yes to trust yourself. And some are in yes, they're living in multiple realities at once, and not even knowing it. It also brings in imagination. It also brings in everybody is connected to this adventure. Why you're attracted, yes, to a certain television show, book, whatever it might be, because that's the reality you're connected to right now. So, if it's Dragon Ball Z, whatever it might be, because you're in that reality right now. You're not a cartoon character. You're a real person. So, that was from